episode 110.
Are you ready to take your eBay business to the next level? Then hold on, because Ron and Ali are going to take you into the fast lane with the latest tips and insights from some of the biggest and most successful sellers here on the So You Want to Sell on eBay podcast.
Welcome once again to another episode of So You Want to Sell on eBay. I'm Ron LeBeau.
And I'm Ali Young.
Hey, everyone. We have with us today Andrea Harrison. Andrea, how you doing today?
I'm doing fabulous, guys. How are you doing?
I'm doing good here in St. Louis. How are you doing in Thailand there,
I'm doing
Ali?
marvelous, as they say. Love the energy, Andrea. Love it.
That's
and it's
awesome.
rainy, and it's very rainy in Atlanta. We're dealing with Sandy, tornadoes, Hurricane Sandy. So it's very rainy.
Wow. Okay.
No excuses there.
Cool. Well, Andrea is a retail veteran and a former Macy's media buyer who turned her hobby into selling on eBay into a successful online handbag store. She started selling in 2009 after Macy's decided to move corporate to New York. She decided to embrace this new opportunity and become a full-time entrepreneur, which allowed her the flexibility and ability to spend more time with her son.
Nice. Love it. So this was initially a hobby, and then it became an obsessive-compulsive work job.
Obsessive compulsive. Yes, I love that. Yes, absolutely. I used to, when I was working at Macy's, I would do it part-time at night. My little son, at the time he was little, not so little now, he would help me box the items. And back then we really didn't have printing labels and things like that. So everything was hand done.
Oh, no.
And it was, oh my gosh, it was just crazy. But when you're in it, it was just what we knew how to do. We didn't, know any better. But anyways, then when Macy's decided to move their corporate to New York, it was kind of like I had the choice of trying to find a job within Macy's there, and then bring my suburban son who's never barely ridden a bus to New York, and he would be just eaten up. Nothing against New Yorkers, but he's a suburban kid. Hands down.
Poor thing.
So I just thought, oh my gosh, the visual. So anyways, so I decided, I thought, well, you know what? If I stayed and tried to make this into a full-time venture, what would happen? So that's what I did.
Nice. So how long had you been selling on eBay before Macy's did all this and forced you? I mean, I'm just kind of curious, at what point were you able to say, I'm going to try this full time? I mean, obviously you've been doing it for some time, right?
Well, and I think I started around 2004. I had another account, and then I switched this account, the In a Clutch account, to be all handbags. So it was about 2004, 2005. And it was funny because it was a girlfriend of mine. Her name was also Andrea, and she worked at Macy's. And she was the one who told me I was trying to get rid of some of my son's outgrown clothes. And, I always bought him nicer things, but I always had a knack of finding good, items at a good price. So she was like, settle on eBay. And I was like, eBay? Who the heck is going to buy his old stuff on eBay? Like, who? And she was like, oh my God. And so then that's really how it started. And that's how I started doing part-time. Now, full-time was because, like I said, I really wanted to see what would happen if I put full-time effort. It was pretty successful doing it part-time. So I thought, what would happen if I put my effort in, a full-time effort? What kind of results would I receive? So that's, and I wanted to be home for my son when he came home off the school bus and, things like that. Nice. So I thought, well, I would give it a try.
And that's the great thing about it, isn't it? I mean, that's the awesome part about eBay, where you get to spend time with your family like that.
Absolutely. And and it's been great. Although sometimes it was a little bit because he would take advantage of the fact that I was at home. Oh, Mom, I forgot my lunch. Oh my gosh. Oh, Mom, I forgot this. You could just bring it. You're not doing anything. Oh,
right. Yeah,
you're not even working.
Yeah, you don't have a real job. This is, I was like, oh, really?
Smart kid.
Yeah. Yeah, or just a kid.
Yeah.
Hey, so real quick. So let's go back a little bit. I mean, because obviously the segue or the position from going from Macy's to doing this full time, it's successful now. But I'm just trying to get in your head back then. I mean, how scary was that for you?
Oh, it was extremely scary because I was going from having a guaranteed paycheck, whether I did anything during the day or not, to supporting myself and my 7-year-old son, however old he was at the time, son. So yeah, it was very scary. But I just knew that if I, pumped up the volume, so to speak, and added more SKUs to my inventory and made it wider and added more things, I just knew it would be a success because it was doing okay part-time. So I was like, well, if I just triple the effort, why wouldn't it work?
So did you walk out your job? So did you save money prior to doing that? Did you have some money in the bank that allowed you to take this? Or did you just go mental and just like, yeah, revolution, I'm going to start on eBay now?
Well, yes, I had a little bit of money in the bank, and then I also got a little money from severance. So it was a nice buffer of between those months where I was really trying to gear up and go from having 50 items out for sale to 200 250 items. So yeah,
brilliant.
So what are your sources for sourcing products?
Currently, I'm using wholesalers, and they sell seconds and items that may be a little damaged. They may be new. They might have tags, so they may all different conditions. They may have defects, store returns. And it's funny how I came across that as well. Someone had emailed me. She wanted to know if I sold her if I would be able to sell her products on consignment because she was moving to Belgium. And I was like, sure. So, just send me the photos. I only sell authentic items. So, fine. So she sent me all these photos. It was about 20 or 25 photos. And I thought, I know that bag. That's a Michael Kors. That's a Brahmin. I sold this. Yeah. So I said to her, well, if you don't mind me asking, I said, you don't have to tell me you don't want. Where did you get this stuff from? And she's like, oh, I don't have no problem telling you. And she told me where, the sites. And that really kind of turned my, turned my business around. I had no idea. I had looked, and there's a lot of sites out there that, could maybe scam you and you're going to lose money. But these were authentic, handbags that were maybe seconds or pre-owned or whatnot. So that was really helpful. And what that taught me was like, sometimes it's okay to kind of be open and help someone along the way. And it always kind of comes full circle because, that was a blessing right there.
And how many do you keep? What I want to know, Andrea, how many big bags do you keep and use every day? Are you like a person that got your secret stash of bags?
I do have a lot of handbags.
I'll bet you do.
However, because I work from home now, I have a policy. If I keep one, I have to sell one.
Right. Oh,
so that's, yeah.
So let me ask you a question. How did you become an authority on knowing authentic bags? I mean, that is one of the biggest industries of fake. The fake bags are out there all over the place. How do you really know when you're holding a bag that it's really authentic?
I think it's just over time. It's just like anything. You start to notice little details, the stitching and the seams and the hardware. It just really came over time. And I now know that, say, for instance, Michael Kors, I know the kind of the bodies and the shapes that they sell their handbags. And so, and it's funny that you say that because sometimes I'll be in a store and I'll be like, I can be, 20 feet away from 30 feet away from someone and I just know it's not a real bag because they just do not make bags like that with that pattern in that shape. It just doesn't exist. So I just kind of know, just from that the certain manufacturers will do certain styles with certain patterns. And then once you get the item, I remember from one of the wholesalers, and they're like, again, they're very reputable. I got one in, I can't remember what the vendor was, and I knew right away. And I sent them I took a picture of it, and I said, this is an authentic. Someone sold this to you as authentic, but I'm telling you, it's not authentic. It's not real leather or whatnot. They don't do styles like this. And, they were like, okay. And I sent it back. So you just kind of know over time.
Made in Thailand.
Yeah. And
Exactly.
alternatively, though, you could be in a Goodwill, and if you don't know a good bag, you could pass up a $500 bag because you think it's in Goodwill and it might not be real. But I mean, it could be a real bag. I mean, so it really kind of helps, to know, what to look for.
Absolutely. And I don't really do a lot of Goodwill. But for people that do, I know that's a great source.
Yeah, I don't either. Who would go in that place?
Yeah, come on, you do not want people to know. So what about branding? Is branding still important? I mean, do you still need to have the name brand bag now? Or would Alibaba Bags, that's my brand that I'm now advertising, handbags, would anybody wear those?
I personally believe that, yes, branding is still very important. We're in a society and a time where labels for the most part, and I'm making a big general statement. Yep. Labels still matter. So so that's why my Kors and the Brahmins and the Tory Burches and the Rebecca Minkoffs, coaches, those names that are very familiar with customers and with buyers. That's why they still are, that's why I think my store is still very relevant, because that's the majority of what I carry. And that's the majority of the people who are not looking for, the higher priced items like the Gucci's and Louis Vuittons and Givenchy, whatnot, which I do not carry. The mainstream, which the average person can afford. That's why my store is so relevant, because it's very affordable, and you can get a still $400 bag for $150, and it's the same bag, and it's still authentic, and it might have a couple scratches on it, or it might be in great condition. It just depends. But yeah.
No, that's awesome stuff. And I'm looking at your website, your eBay store, actually, and I can tell that you are a product of active content. And we all know that eBay kind of did away with that recently. Prior to the episode here, we just started talking about, you had mentioned that you're in the process of getting that corrected. I mean, I know a lot of people are out there in the same situation as you, but it's eBay making a better environment for everyone, right? With the mobile friendly and things like that. So talk a little bit about that. I mean, because obviously your store, it's what is it? It's in a Clutch, is a good eBay store, but right now you are under reconstruction. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes. I think that's good because, statistically, a lot of people, I think even for my bags, it's maybe 55, 60% are going to their mobile phones to purchase my bags. So, we want the end result, the user to have a friendly, easy experience. So although I did put a lot of time and effort and money on the front end, getting it to look pretty and with all these drop downs and whatnot, if it's not going to be user friendly at the end, and if I am not going to be able to get sales, which is the bottom line, well, then I just have to, comply, obviously, and make it work. So, so as we speak, I have my guy who developed my store. He's working on it to make it mobile friendly.
Nice. Yeah, because that's what everyone, you're right. I mean, we do a lot of different sort of Facebook ads and stuff, and it shows that a lot of people nowadays are just shopping on their mobile phones. There's a higher percentage of people actually just using their phones from a coffee shop or lying in the bed and buying something.
Absolutely. And we're so on the go right now. Our society, we're here, there. So our mobile phones have become an extension of us, because it's become our third arm. So I totally understand why eBay decided to do this, to make it, an easier platform for everybody to kind of purchase, because that's what they want. They want the sales too.
Absolutely. And I think that's the message eBay was sending. I mean, obviously, you know, for anyone who had a really awesome looking store like you did, you know, I'm sure it was a tough decision for eBay to make, but it was the right decision, right? Once we're all mobile friendly, it'll be amazing, I think, for any eBay seller out there.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And you know, and I don't think it's going to be anything too hard to convert to. Just it'll take a little bit of time, and I just have to wait my place in line while he's working on, you know, other accounts. But
that's cool.
You know, once I do, I'll be back up, and I'll look as, you know, it'll be looking cute as it was before.
You tell him Ron and Ali said you need to move. He needs to move you to the front. What is this ridiculous?
Stop mucking around. So what I want to talk about, shift gears a little bit here, is pictury, is imagery, is all that fun stuff. We had someone in our Facebook group, Teresa, and one of her main issues was being able to take the correct picture. Because I know when I was working, well, we call it work, but my mum was using me as a slave. But when I was on her eBay store and trying to take pictures with one of these tents, you know, everywhere I went, it's like the shadow followed. I just couldn't get this friggin' shadow out of the way. So how do you take your pictures? Because your pictures have come out really nice.
I don't.
There you go.
That's why. In the earlier days, I did. I mean, and I agree, all the shadows and the colors and the backgrounds, making it look pretty. And I was a one, and I'm still, you know, I just have a couple people helping me. And it was taxing. But then as my inventory grew, I just was like, I can't do it myself. So I have a photographer who, she comes and she takes pictures of all of my merchandise on a nice crisp white background. So, you know, I have usually five views per bag. And then if there's like a specific defect or anything, we kind of zoom in on that. So the buyer is aware of what their, what the defect is. So that's how it is. But yeah, imagery and photos are like so important when selling on eBay.
And, you know, that's a really big point. I mean, obviously you hired a photographer, so you know the value of having that photographer there so you can get the really good pictures. You know, it's really kind of as your business grows, you know, Jim Cockrum, one of the friends of our show here, says all the time, he says, only do the things that only you can do. And that really makes a whole lot of sense if you think about it, right? So if you're doing every single thing, then really, you know, it's just not as valuable as hiring out some of the things that you can.
Again, it's that. The hard part is, when do you move to the next point of employing someone who can then take on this job? You know, it's like, well, I can still do this. Oh, it's going to cost me money to employ this person.
Right.
But it's more of a case of you notice with your time that it's better I pay someone to do that and I can focus my attention more on that, yeah?
Absolutely. You're absolutely right, because that's not my number one. That's not my expertise. And I know that photography and the photos are going to be very important. So if I can take a couple $100 or whatever it is out of my budget to pay someone, and the time that it takes to take those photos. Oh my goodness.
And for me, the aggravation of it all. I love photographers.
Yeah. And I actually have another one who, she does my page pre-active content. You know, she would kind of do my what I call ads. So she comes in, and per season we would, you know, I pull a bunch of bags together and we do like, a bag with maybe, some jewelry, like lifestyle kind of ads, with a laptop or things like that look really catchy. So she does those maybe 3 times a year. And then my other photographer, she comes in and she also helps me with my inventory and receiving things like, whatever I need help with. She comes in like, 3 to 4 times a week, depending on need. So photography, I think, is very important. So anyone out there who can eke out or get an intern or someone who will do it, it doesn't even have to be for a lot of money. It just makes a world of difference for your time and for the aesthetics of your page.
Wow. Yeah, and I think we had someone on our show not too long ago that they hired a high school student that was, into photography, which kind of helped them and it helped the seller as well. It was kind of a nice way of making that work.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good trade-off.
So how many workers do you have then?
Well, I just have the one assistant, the one girl that comes. She does the photography and she helps me with the inventory, receiving. And if I'm going on vacation next week, so she'll come in every day and do all of the shipping as well. And then I have my other photographer who is as needed for what I call my ads or my, things that I put on Instagram or my cover photos and on Facebook and, on eBay as well when it was looking nice.
So you're pretty much doing all of this. I mean, so how do you manage that? So you're sourcing, you're listing then, you're shipping then. I mean, how are you managing this in a day-to-day? Is it like an 8-hour shift a day or?
Sometimes it's 12 hours. Sometimes It's 50. It just depends. My day, it can vary. Like tomorrow's Friday and I already know I have some appointments. And so it's going to be a short day. And Fridays, I kind of like it to be a more of a shorter day. I don't have a lot of shipping usually. But it really it depends from day to day. It really does. There's no 2 days are alike.
No, but that's a good thing, right? I mean, that's one of the things that some people like about, having their own business or, selling on eBay, because no 2 days are the same.
Absolutely. One of the frustrations that my friends present time with me is that, when we go away on vacation, I had one of my girlfriends say that sometimes I'm not present and I'm always on my laptop or on my phone or whatnot. And I'm like, I'm never off. Like, if, I don't want to rely on my assistant. I need to still be able to answer questions because I know the stock. I know I could be across the world and I know exactly where everything is. I just, so I still have to be tapped in.
You need to fix that, and here's how you fix that. You turn that cha-ching on, so when they're with you and you're sitting at dinner and your phone's going cha-ching, 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 and you're getting these sales, that'll change the conversation real quick.
Right?
They'll be quitting their job.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. My mom used to say whenever she heard, because I have a special ring, special ding for eBay and a special ring for just my regular Yahoo account, she'd be like, oh, that's another sale. That's money. I'm like, no.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It never gets old.
Ron and Ali will be right back after this short break.
It's only right around the corner. Ecom Chicago 2017. Innovate, inspire, and grow. Join us October 19th through 21st in Elk Grove Village, Illinois, for the 4th annual event that focuses on e-commerce and business growth. Hear strategies from expert speakers. Learn new ideas and techniques that will help to develop your business. Speak and network with like-minded online sellers, as well as experts and mentors who will be available throughout the event, such as Jason T. Smith, Kathy Terrell, Eddie Levine, and Peter Cairns, just to name a few. The wealth of experience, knowledge, and enthusiasm is sure to be mind-blowing. Go to ecomchicago.com for more information. Sponsorship opportunities available. New this year for attendees is a pre-event vendor showcase on Thursday, October 19th, where our participating vendors will be giving live, focused demos on their product or service. Life is full of numbers. Our brains process literally hundreds of numbers and equations every hour of every day. When it comes to your business, give your brain a break as well as peace of mind that the numbers are figuring up as they should with MyCost Pro. MyCost Pro is an easy-to-use automated eBay bookkeeping program for Excel that imports sales data directly from your seller account. MyCost Pro automatically generates accounting and performance reports to show you your true bottom-line profit. You can even view and edit active listing details such as price and quantity and relist unsold items directly from MyCost Pro. All you need is Excel on your Windows PC. Take control of your business and free up those long nights of crunching the numbers. Visit mycostpro.com for a 21-day no-obligation free trial using coupon code PODCAST, exclusively for So You Want to Sell on eBay podcast listeners.
Check out So You Want to Sell on eBay.com for the latest podcasts and all the information you need to get selling fast.
So as for things like research, I suppose in this particular industry you're in, there's a lot of research because you're selling name brands, you're selling stuff that, you know, the information's out there. Is that true? I mean, have you ever had this weird antique Victorian 1900s sort of bag?
No, pretty not.
Victorian.
Pretty well.
Say that again, Ollie. I mean,
pretty not. That doesn't make.
Well, they didn't have bags in those days. What do you think they were carrying around? You know, it's like
it's a weird Victorian blah blah blah.
Do you know what? Do Americans know what Victorian is? Did you go to school? Did you have history lessons in America? No, it's just like is there only name brands? Is there no bag that's like this? You know, it's like an old painting. It's worth millions. Do you have anything like that in your industry?
Oh, I'm sure there is. I don't personally have it in my inventory and haven't come across it, because if I did come across something that was worth millions, I'd be on a beach right now.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't be on this podcast show.
And I would be on this podcast.
Yes, you would.
I knew there was a price.
No, pretty much everything I receive are bags or vendors that I'm very familiar with. Every now and then there'll be something that I per se might not be familiar with, but it's out there and it's not that obscure, and it doesn't take much to kind of find out what the value is or what it, if it's valuable or not. So no, that's not what I deal with.
And you know it now. So like if you see that in a shop, or if you saw it, like let's say you went thrifting or something, you know exactly how much that bag's worth now from research and from practice. Pretty
much, yeah.
Cool.
It's like I said, when I'm walking around, I'll see someone's bag. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a Coach. And this is all in my head. These are conversations I'm having in my head. That was $395, or oh yeah, I know that bag. That was that's a Tory Burch. That's a York, leather, Sapiano leather. It's crazy. So yeah, I'm become kind of this the Rain Man of
We do that with pixels. We do that with pixels because as Ron and I do graphic design and stuff, everywhere we go, that could be like 2 pixels to the right or something. It's like your mind becomes what you do all the time.
Absolutely. It's hard to turn it off. It really is.
That's why your friends don't understand. I'm obsessed. Why don't you understand?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so, exactly.
Has your son grown up into the eBay business?
No. As he got older, he knows what I do. He's now in college. He's a freshman at a college here. So he's almost 19 and 6'2".
Oh, wow.
But no. Everything if I ever ask him to do anything for me, it's like, how much are you going to pay me? It's like, how about...
So he is an entrepreneur.
How about food for the last 18?
eBay entrepreneur.
Right. He tries. But I'm like, how about the house that's over your head and the bed that you sleep in and the car that you drive and the food that you eat? Yeah. How about that? Okay. How about that?
Besides all that, Mom. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. He's a teenager and he's a guy, and was helping me. Actually, I had hired some of his friends to help me before I had my photographer, they come in and take photos or take inventory. And one of them, I said, you know what? It's a good thing that I love you, because I would fire you. They were just 2 thumbs down. No. It was, it's okay. I just prefer to, get someone else.
Somebody serious.
Headache.
Most definitely.
So where are you seeing yourself in the future then? What's your plans with this? You hope to expand, have warehouses around the world, 50,000 employees?
Yeah, no, I don't want to expand to that degree. I do want to continue to, I want to get more into consignment, having people give me their bags and I'll sell them, take the photos and take the ownership of it and sell it for them.
Right.
I've been really trying to expand into different categories. When I initially started, I did do clothing. I did designer premium jeans. I did Abercrombie and Fitch items. I did dabble in a few of those, but one, there's, back then I had to really, I got caught up with, items that were counterfeit. So that kind of scared me away.
Sure.
And then also dealing with the returns and, this doesn't fit and things like that, which is why I kind of landed, one of the reasons why I landed on handbags. So I'm continually trying to figure out what else I can expand into. I've done a little bit of accessories. I've done like some luggage, like Tumi luggage, things like that, which has done well, but it's just kind of hard to find. So yeah, I would love to be able to, cut out the middleman and just go right for the jugular and kind of be that person, which again, it's taken a lot of research and I haven't quite cracked it, but
you will.
I will.
That's the thing. That's that belief and faith you talked about earlier, that you will. I mean, you've come this far from having a job, walking away from that to building something that's over 10,000 feedback. It's amazing.
Yes, and you know what? I just hit 10,000. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Sorry, it's a delay. It's probably my time. I've got the monkeys running my electricity at the moment.
Give him a banana.
Come on, hurry up, Frank. What's taking so long, brother?
No, I was saying I just hit 10,000 feedback a couple days ago, and I was so excited. So I actually did a promo or a contest rather on Instagram and on my Facebook fan page, and they can win a one of my handbags if they like my page and make a comment to tag someone.
I'm in. How do I win?
$400 bag. Well,
is it
go
over?
on in a clutch on Instagram and look for that the contest photo and follow the bouncing ball, and it could be you. And I'll send it to
yes, I love the little challenge. It's fun,
It would look it's a gray bag. It will look great on you.
Yeah, I know. It brings out my eyes. You know what I mean? So
it brings out the eyes.
So you're using also, because we got like one question left, and then we'll let you go because I just like boom, time's flown by. But are you using social media as well to help promote your eBay store?
Absolutely. I use Instagram. I use Twitter. I have a Facebook fan page. I'm moving more away from Facebook because the trend, especially with Instagram is all about photos. So, it's kind of the perfect fit for my handbags. I don't have a lot of followers on Instagram, which is, why I thought, okay, let me at least try to do a contest and see what happens. On Facebook, I have over 20,000 on my Facebook fan page. On Instagram is considerably less. But I do, and also social media. I'm old school. Like, I was born in the 60s. So, I'm still not used to I've gotten used to it now, but it was a little bit of a curve trying to get used to all of this Snapchatting and Twittering and Instagramming. And,
I'm with you on that one, man.
If you want to be a player, right? But if you want to be a player, you got to play. So.
It's hard, isn't it?
Most definitely.
You're just flicking through stuff, you're liking stuff, you're even sending these fake emojis. I mean, it is quite hard. It takes a certain, like my kids are like pros, they're like doing it three-handed. Well, they haven't got three hands, but they're like this thing, but yeah. No, it's brilliant. We've run out of time, awesome. Andrea. I mean, we got it. When you get a 20,000 feedback, which will be next week, by the way, you're doing things. We got to get you back on here. It's I like your belief and your faith. You've taken that lunge from it being a hobby to making it something real, which is a very, like Ron mentioned, a very scary and daunting thing, to making this work and making this grow, and pretty much, just except for the photographers, pretty much doing this on your own. And you've got great passion, we can tell in your voice. So it's been brilliant having you on with us today, Andrea.
Oh, it's been great. This was fun. I can't believe how I don't even know how long we've been on, but it just went like that. You guys are awesome.
I know, it's you. You do all the time. We hardly talked, did we, Ron? This is awesome.
Well, I did. I hardly talked. Yeah. You kind of...
I always take control. That's why, it's like, Ali, shut up. Let me have a question as well, please. He loves me. He's wearing... Look, as Andrea said, he's wearing the same shirt color as me. That's how much he loves me.
Oh, I know you guys do. You guys are twinsies. It's awesome.
Matching shirts. So anyway, we'll post all the notes from today's interview, this great interview, on our show notes page, which can be found at www.soyouwantasellonebay.com/show notes. Just go over there. You'll be able to find Andrea Harrison's show notes. She's got all the goodies from today's interview on there, including links and stuff to her Instagram and also her eBay store. Is there any other links, any other ways that people can get hold of you there, Andrea?
Instagram, In a Clutch on Instagram, and Facebook, In a Clutch on Facebook.
And this promo thing, I'm sure it's going to run out and people will be listening to this for years, but is there a way that people can get into that free handbag thing?
Oh, absolutely. Go on to Instagram. Again, my Instagram name is In a Clutch, and look for the ad that, it's a great handbag, and it says 10,000 feedback giveaway, and just follow. There's just 3 very easy steps, and it's over on June 26th, which is on Monday. Wow. 11:59 p.m. And wherever the winner is, wherever worldwide, I'll ship it to them.
Very nice.
Free.
Male or female. Awesome. I love it. And thanks very much for that there, Andrea. There's also a great little resources page now on the website. You can go over there and check it out. That's soyouwantasellonebay.com/resources. We collect all the great information from previous guests and other products that we use and put them on there so that you can all enjoy these goodies. From everyone here at So You Want to Sell on eBay, I'm Ali Young.
And I'm Ron LeBeau.
That's all for this episode of So You Want to Sell on eBay. Be sure to check out our next episode or any past episodes by going online to soyouwantasellonebay.com. Also, be sure to follow us on your favorite social media sites, facebook.com/So You Want to Sell on eBay, and Twitter @Your eBay Podcast. Thanks for listening. And until next time, happy selling.
Have an idea for a topic or know someone who would like to be on the show? Let us know. Just go to www.soyouwantasellonebay.com/interview. We look forward to hearing from you. This podcast was produced in part by Pro Voice Works.